Okay, let me see if you can hear me. Hold on, let me see. You hear me? Yay! Hold on, let me move this. Okay, good, good, good. You can hear me. What's up? Oh my gosh, guys, it's so quiet because I know that this is being recorded, so I can't play the same things that I used to play. So I'm trying to find my song. I'm like, hold on, wait. Oh my God. Okay. Let me see if I can find my song. We gotta have something planned, you guys. Let me see. What's up? Hi. How are you guys doing? Okay, let me see. Oh, snap, you can. Guys, I had no idea you can do this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Hold on, guys. So I'm going to be waiting a couple minutes. We're going to wait for some people to get in here. But while we're waiting, let me do this. While we're waiting. It's time to show up. Look, rewind. I don't know what happened to the longer one. Hold on, I can't see you guys' comments just yet, so give me a second. Okay. That works. Okay, now let me see if I see the comments. Yes. Okay, good. Peace. Yes, sounds good. Okay. I can't actually see. Let me find out. This is who's all on here. Do I have everybody? So, because I see your pictures, but not your name, y'all tell me your name in the comments so I can give you a shout out. Tell me your name so I can give you a shout out in the comments, you guys. Oh, so excited. I don't know if y'all excited. Are y'all excited? Like I'm excited. Is it just me? Ginger. I know I saw your picture. Oh, I see it. See y'all. I could have just read it. What's up, Ginger? Ginger. What's up, Ginger? Who else is here? Okay. Joy. Hi, Joy. Oh, from IT. All right, awesome. Yes, Joy. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, guys. I'm excited about today. I'm just waiting for a few minutes. Just wanting to get everybody in. As you guys know, today we're going to be talking about this I don't even know what to call it. This risen just experience, this 3-day experience. We're going to be talking about day 1. Day 1 is about day. I don't want to get too heavy into it. I know there are a few people that are still in, so I'm going to just wait for a few minutes. But first let me ask you guys, how has your day been so far? Today is Friday. I want to know how your day has been, and I want you to tell me what planet rules Friday. Mm, mm. Y'all know I like to come through with the quizzes. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm still getting used to this, you guys. But this is pretty fun. Okay, so yes. So tell me how your day has been and what planet rules Fridays because today is Friday. Feeling grateful, day's been good, peaceful, and you know. Yes, Venus. Yeah. Yes, Venus. Okay, so we know Venus rules Fridays. Okay, so tell me about the anybody know about the planet Venus though? So we know Venus rules Friday, but what is it about Venus? What is it about that planet? Because on Fridays, this would be a great day to align with that planet and do some of the things. Um, yeah, align with that planet and do certain things on today. It would be a great day to do that. So let's see. Catching a few minutes on the way. Oh, to yoga. Oh, hi. What's up? Thanks for joining. Oh, it's Saturday your time. Okay. Well, happy Saturday. Happy Saturn day. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. 6:30 a.m. Thank you for just stopping by just to say hi. See y'all know how to make my day. You know how to do it. Just stopping by to say hi. That's amazing. Yes, yes. Okay, you guys. So we're gonna get right into this. I'm not gonna hold you guys up really long. We're gonna get into this really quick. So, like I said, you guys, first of all, I just want to start off and just say freaking welcome to your ascension. That's what I want to start off and say. Welcome to your ascension. It feels weird being on here without any music. I feel like I can do it because I don't know if they're gonna flag me for it. You guys let me know. If I put like the disclaimer in the comments, will they still flag me for music for this replay if you guys know? I don't know. Nate might know, but it's just too weird. It's w- it's really weird to not have to not have something going. Okay. Let me see. I want to look it up. Do you guys know? Let's put a disclaimer. Play it softly. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. All right, let's do that. It's just a little too quiet. And I feel like I can hear everything. Okay, there we go. Whew. Nate saved me. Woo! No. All right, you guys. So first of all, I want to just say welcome to your ascension. This this risen experience, I talked about it a little bit today on my live on IT. I talked a little bit about that. It was a really short live, what was risen about and how I came up with this idea and just the synchronicities that happened along the way and how it just happened to be on this Easter weekend, or some people like to say resurrection weekend if you're religious or into religion. But definitely, this is a very special weekend, not just because of that, but the energy. So I don't know if you guys know this or not about me, but I'm an energy reader. So the energy of this weekend is just massive. And yes, knowing that it's Easter and Resurrection weekend, it went perfectly with this. I think that first, let me just say this isn't a religion type of live, but I do want to use the energy of this weekend to explain this experience every day of this experience, right? Okay. So if you guys hear me, let me know. I don't know if I've been getting messages, so let me know. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I think it's fixed. All right, let me see. Yes, okay. All right. Woo, guys. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. The energy of today is just like, ooh, ooh, freaking we. Okay, let me get comfortable. Hold on. All right. Welcome back. All right, everybody else, let me wait a minute. I know some people are had to go out and come back in. So let's wait for them. Hmm. I wonder what happened. It's just the energy, guys. Okay. 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 I see some hearts. So that means you guys are here. Okay. I'm going to leave it like this. All right, you guys. I don't know what the last thing is that you guys heard, but let me just keep going. Um, man. Woo. Woo. All right, you guys. I thought that doing risen was really important. I think that is something that we go through in our life all the time. And I don't think okay, good. I don't think we really understand that it's something that's really natural that we all go through. I know that we've seen it play out through the Jesus story, the resurrection and the death and everything. And that's wonderful. And I want us to know that, you know, in order for us to elevate and evolve, something must die, right? Something must die for that to happen. Something must be let go of. Um, and so that's why I said, welcome to your ascension, because risen means ascend. It means to expand, and you expand through release, letting things go. I know a lot of times people have a hard time with letting things go, especially their old identities, but that's the reason why you feel stagnant. That's the reason why people's cycles go like this all the time. And they're like, okay, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it's because of the stagnancy. So for me in my personal life, there are a lot of moments that I've been afraid, or I've been like, okay, I know I just need to do something different so that I can continue to evolve, or maybe I don't identify with the way I was before. So I make certain changes. That is the death experience. Okay. It's letting those things go. Now, let me tell you how funny this is. When I was planning this, you guys, I knew it was going to be on the third day, right? I was like, okay, number three, right? Now, if you guys don't know that the number three actually means, the spiritual meaning of the number three is like completion, creativity, and then what alignment. But then we got the 333. And I got that because I was like, okay, what time? How can I align with the energy of today? And you guys start thinking about things like that. When you're going through life, start thinking about how can I align with the energy that's already present? How can I, because when you align with things, alignment is what takes you to that next level. We're going to talk about that on day three. But alignment is what takes you there. Okay. So I'm like, how can I align? So I chose to do this live at 333. I wanted to align with that energy, that massive energy of alignment, of creation, the energy of the Trinity, the mind, body, and the spirit, right? The Trinity. So this just very significant to the whole thing, 3 days, the number 3, 333. So if you're here right now, just know that you're in alignment and that you're about to ascend. Okay, so that means that right now, Spirit wants you to know that your old identity, it doesn't match You've outgrown it. It doesn't match you anymore. You've outgrown it and it's time for you to move. And so the message that I was getting was like, enough is enough. It's time for you to get moving. So we're going to talk about four keys to death. We're going to talk about what version of you needs to die, right? Oh, it's Trevon. Oh, hi. You hear me? Okay, great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, okay, that's good. Thank you so much for letting me know. Um, but I also want to go over reprogramming our minds about death. And this is what I'm really passionate about, you guys. Why? Because I see over and over and over people explain the death experience as just this experience with turmoil and you're going through this and you're going through that. And like something different to the table. And I want to challenge you real quick to look at the death experience as a good and positive thing, to celebrate in your death experience. I've been challenged to do that too. So I've been challenged where in my life, every time I thought that I was, ascending to another level, right? Or, transforming and whatever, word you want to use. But when I felt like I was doing that, I always right before things get still. And I don't know if anybody has connections with like their spirit tribe, like your angels, your guides, ancestors, different things like that. If you do, let me put a thumbs up in the comments in the chat. But when things right before they go silent, I start feeling a certain type of energy. And normally the first thing, because I recognize it so well now, the first thing I'm like, I just want to cry. I'm like, I just want to cry. And that's like the first thing, right? I want to cry. Oh, you get nervous. What is this going to be like? Lots of us that want to be in control all the time, we have a hard time with this. We know that letting things go is hard because we want to control. We want to know what's happening next. We're like, listen, I don't know if I really want to go into the unknown because I don't really feel safe. We're going to talk about the nervous system on day 2 because that is a big, huge key. You do not want to miss that. We're going to go into the nervous system. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to bring something different to the death experience. When I was growing up, even being Christian and everything, when this particular I don't want to say season holiday or whatever, when Resurrection Sunday came or this event, I always got so sad. It was always really sad. It was really heavy. It really did feel like a death, even if it wasn't my own and we was honoring Jesus' death, it was like really heavy and I took it in a lot. So throughout the years, I feel like when that same death energy comes, I feel that same energy, right? But you don't have to, right? Because we know one that we never die anyway, right? Our spirit, our soul lives on and continues to, you know, do what it does in the spirit realm. But also the energy of death doesn't have to be a sad thing. I want us to look at it now in a new way, and that's what I've been challenged with. So the only way I can come and I can tell you this is because I've had to be challenged, with this in order for me to bring it to you and say like, look, you don't have to be down going through this death experience. You don't have to be so sad and crying and, frustrated and just like, oh my God, this is just da 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 because during this death experience, this is the time where you're really realizing what's not for you. But it doesn't have to be sad. You're really starting to realize what's not for you during a death experience, right? You're like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I think I've outgrown these habits. I've outgrown this mindset. I think I've outgrown certain people. I've outgrown certain places. And so you feel like because you've outgrown it, you're about to go into this alone state. I'm not saying you're not going there because some of us, we definitely go there. We feel like we're alone. You're not alone, but we feel like we are, right? We feel like we're alone during the process. So when we go through all of that, I just want y'all to know that it doesn't have to be a sad experience. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be a sad experience. It can be a joyous experience, especially when you're consciously aware. See, the thing is, we all go through this, but a lot of times it's subconsciously, right? Where we're just going through it and we're just like, okay. But soon as we recognize what it is we're going through, it changes everything, right? It's just like that person that you've been what example can I give? Like you've been feeling a certain type of way or something. Or no, I got one. It's the kids. It brings me back to the kids. We were all kids once, right? We're still kids, I think. But you know how like sometimes when you fell down when you were little or you or a kid your child falls down and not until you say something, then they kinda respond. You're like, "Oh my god," you, like, freak out more than they do, and then they start to respond once you respond a certain way and they see the look on your face, they feel that energy you have. It is the same way with this situation. It's like once you become consciously aware of what you're doing, that you're going through this death, this tomb, and this rising, then it can seem like you're supposed to just freak out, but you don't have to. Okay. So I want to walk you through um this death experience, but in a new way, and just let you know that first of all, when you're going through this, be happy, be joyous, because that is a sign that you're ascending. That is a sign that you're in alignment. That is a sign that you've outgrown where you are and more is to come. It doesn't mean that you have to let go of everybody and whoever. It doesn't mean that, but it does mean that you do need to let go of what you've outgrown. Okay. Some of us want to keep holding on to all the things, all the stuff, because it look good, it feel good, it tastes good, it sound good. You just like listen, but you got to understand when you feel that shift, don't ignore it, right? That means you're outgrowing your life. So instead of holding on, you should be releasing. Okay. So the message is really just it's time for your old identity to die. All right, you guys. So I want to go into we talked about 333 and what that means, the significance of that. Um and it's so funny how all this just really aligns. But I want to talk about the four keys to death real quick cuz I know that this is in my book, The Time I Had to Die, and I want to talk about this hold on, I think I am there we go. Here's the book. And I want to talk about the four keys to death. This is what talk about diving deep into my past. And so I call this, I said, I didn't realize that accepting the death of my old self meant revisiting my past and facing different depths of transformation. What I call the keys to death. These keys symbolize the process that led to my death experience and awakening. I now understand was a journey of self discovery. Okay. So let me explain. Are y'all ready? Y'all put some hearts in the chat if y'all ready to go over these keys. These keys while you're in your death experience. What does that even look like? What does death mean? Death is all about breaking patterns. Breaking patterns, right? Letting go, trusting. A lot of times we won't even let go because we don't even trust. Now we have to learn how to trust. All right, let's see. Y'all put some heart. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure that there's no connection. So y'all put some hearts in the chat. If y'all still here, okay, good, good. Got it, got it, got it. All right, guys, let's go. Okay. All right. First key is the root. So let me explain this to you guys. When you're in this death experience, sometimes your root is going to come up. Does it have to come up every time? No, but sometimes it will. And what I mean by that is there was a time, I know some of you might have heard the story, but there was a time when my husband would always remind me of things. Like he would say, "Babe, you need to find the root of that." When I would be going through something, what is the root? And I would be like, there is no root. There's no root to it. And so I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, you need to find the root." And I'm just like, man, I'm tired of like thinking about my childhood or thinking about when I was younger, different things like that. I want to just live right where I am. But finding the root meant that when challenging experiences arose for me, I would have to ask myself how I felt, right? If it was attachment to an experience that I hadn't healed from. That's what finding the root was for me. I had to realize like, okay, am I holding on to a past experience? Am I operating in a way that I don't really resonate with anymore, right? Sometimes we do that. Why? We'll go into that tomorrow with the nervous system. But that's what it was. It was every time some type of experience would occur in my life, I had to ask myself, was I attached to an experience that previously happened that was still affecting me in real time? Okay, so finding the root. So I said I want to read a little bit of this, you guys, because this was really, really a really monumental experience for me. I said, I allowed the process to happen naturally, and I took it one step at a time. The truth is that we might not ever find the root of every issue that occurs, and that's okay. But most importantly, just don't be afraid to, because you might find that some roots began before you were born. Okay, guys. Okay, so listen. You guys, that right there took me on a whole spiral. Okay, we want to say down the rabbit hole because for me personally, and I know it's for some of you too. We've experienced the or we no, we feel certain ways, but we don't really have the experience to attach it to. If y'all have been like that, I want y'all to put y'all hand up in the comments because it was definitely like that for me. Definitely. And it led to just frustration and issues in different areas of my life because I knew that I felt a certain way, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't have an image or an experience that I could attach why I was feeling a certain type of way. It's just yet. Okay, let me see because I'm not seeing the comments, guys. Okay. Okay. I see some hearts, so I guess that's good. I'm just gonna keep going. All right. So I definitely felt that way. So what that led me to was wanting to dive deeper. So for me personally, that's why I did a quantum healing session, which is a hypnosis session. I wanted to know why I was feeling certain ways. I needed to get to the root of this, why I was feeling certain ways, but I didn't have any memory of it. I couldn't remember. So that's what I mean by that. There are some things that we carry with us that I feel like aren't even from this timeline, honestly. And I feel like these are things that have been carried incarnations and different things like that. They're carried. That's what people mean by when they say you're doing ancestor work, right? Yeah, that's what they mean when they're saying you're doing ancestor work, right? Um feel like you're carrying this weight and these different things and you're just like I really don't understand. So when I did this hypnosis session, that's when it opened me up to what really was going on that happened previous before this timeline. And I'm saying we know everything happens simultaneously at the same time, but this is a different timeline, right? On my timeline, this is somewhere else. And so I ended up going through that and healing it, right? And what I noticed about roots is roots must be taken care of, okay? When you have something that's deep like that, it must be taken care of. When you're going through this death experience, you have to know that's when you kind of really realize what you don't want, what's not yours. You know what I'm saying? What you're carrying that you're like, okay, this doesn't resonate with me, da 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 da, right? So that's why it led me on that journey. And what I end up finding out was that it wasn't just my thing. It was things also from, I would say, ancestors, even though we all are the ancestors anyway, right? We just reincarnate over and over and over, but we like to say ancestors because they've transitioned in that form of who they were then. Okay. We can get into ancestors another time. But that's what that is. Okay. So your roots must be taken care of during your death experience. Okay. Everybody doesn't have to go as deep. But when situations occur and you find yourself being really sensitive or really irritated, really bothered, because I'm telling you, when the death experience comes up, you like I'm trying to lead you down the road of like question the stuff. You don't have to go too deep in it, right? But question it. Make sure that this is where it's like if you're writing on a sheet of paper what's for me, what's not for me. Like that's what's happening energetically. So you're going to be certain things are going to come up. Certain things from your past is going to come up and you wonder why, man, where did that come from? Why is this happening all of a sudden or whatever? Like you're going to feel like you're being challenged. Okay? You're gonna feel like you're being challenged. And that's why the root comes up the way that it does, right? It's meant for you to see and to notice and for you to be sure and certain of who you are, what you desire, all those things, so that whatever it is that is not you anymore, it can go, it can die, it can just, you know what I'm saying? You can alchemize it if you want to, turn it into something beautiful, amazing. My sister used to tell me that, turn it into something beautiful and amazing, right? Because at the end of the day, death is not rejection, it's redirection. Mm, 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 mm. Death is not even rejection. You're not being rejected. You're being redirected. So ask yourself this question. How many times you ask for something and then you realize you weren't ready for it? How many times have you asked for something and then you was like, oh wait, did I really ask for that? Hold on, wait. What the what? How many times did that happen? Because a lot of times when we ask for something, sometimes we even forget that we asked for it, right? And then by the time it comes up, sometimes we go through this process of removing, right? Removing what no longer serves us, even when it comes to our finances. I mean, this is in every area of your life. These experiences, this death experience happens all the time, all the time. So even when you're like asking for more finances, do you understand that when you're asking for that, what has to die? You tell me in the comments. Tell me, and y'all help me out. What has to die? Okay, when you're like, listen, I want to upgrade my finances, right? I want to bring in more income, passive income at that. What if you ask for passive income? You tell me. She like, yeah. Let me know. Let me know what has to die for that to occur. What has to die? Lack mindset has to go. Let's go. Come on. The lack mindset has to go. What else has to go? The lack mindset. That's number one. Come on, you done said it. You said it. That has to go. Number one. Your mindset has to shift. What's another thing that has to shift? Because sometimes I'm telling y'all, this is that death experience right here. This is the stuff that needs to shed. So before we ask for stuff, that's why sometimes I have to think twice now when I ask for things. Oh, and I say, I wonder why this is happening. And ask my husband, I'll be like, oh, never mind. I don't need to know why. I'm okay. I don't need to know. Because I know that when I ask why, the universe, the God, source, whoever you resonate with, it's the same. It's going to respond and it's going to give you the why. And you're going to be like, oh my freaking gosh, I don't think I was really ready for that. Anybody else know? She said the lack mindset. Anything else? Come on, come on. This is the mo. Dun, 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 dun. She only talked about the mind, guys. Only the mind. What else? Anybody else know? So besides just the mind, what about what we say? Ooh, hold on, wait. See now you like, look, that's a lot of responsibility. Hold on, you talking about I have to watch what it is that I say? Yup. What are you saying to yourself? And I'm just gonna say, the energy of that in general, not just what you're saying, but also you guys have heard me say, what's around you, right? What's around you? What are you what's surrounding you? What verbiage is going on around you? What are the people saying that's around you? Are they matching up with what you're telling yourself? Because it's so easy when we're in this death experience where we feel like we're really vulnerable, we're really open, right? Because we're shedding or letting things go. And so we feel very sensitive to this and everything. And so there are times when people can come in and they can say something the complete opposite of what it is that you're talking about, what it is you're asking for. They can come in with their negativity and you're just like, okay, like what in the world? Hold on, wait. What? So it's not just about your words, but it's also about the words of the people that are around you. What are they saying? You know what I'm saying? If you have that best friend you call up and you tell your idea to X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Like your coworker, what they're saying, like it doesn't matter. Even the stuff that you're watching, what you're listening to, does it match? If you are saying that I want a relationship, you said, maybe I wasn't specific enough. Oh, lack mindset has to go. Oh, what did you say? Because I only see that. I'm sorry. I don't see any other comments. All I see is a hand up and then lack mindset has to go. Oh, you're talking about, oh, okay, okay. Maybe I wasn't specific. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So you guys, it's like, hold on. Okay. Okay. Cool. There we go. I want to make sure I see it. Okay. So when that stuff comes up, it's like, what about the people that's asking for love? You're like, listen, I want a relationship. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I really want a relationship and I want to feel loved and I want to feel cared about and I want to feel this. Ooh, what happens next? Your death experience occurs. Why? Because every time you ask for something, it means you're telling God, the universe, you're saying, I don't have this. So could you please give me this? And then the universe is like, oh, sick. Of course I can give it to you. Let's see if you're ready. Boom. Or not even let's see if you're ready. Let's just, here you go. But the way that it comes, a lot of times we stop the process because the way that it comes, it requires us to shed something. It requires us to let go of something. So it's all really up to us. I'm way behind with my comments because, oh, it keeps freezing. Oh, okay. Okay. I might have to, oh man. I hope it stops freezing for you. Is it freezing for anyone else? So true, and it's hard because I wanna talk to my peoples, but they don't always think and speak abundance because of shift. Yeah, mhm, yeah, exactly, and I'm not saying that because people don't think the same way you think or all that type of stuff either, or look the way you look or believe the same things you believe, that you have to shut them all out. Now, I had to learn that lesson in my life because there was a point in time where I shut everybody out because I was just so sensitive and already sensitive to energy, already dealing with a lot of different things. And so I felt like where I was, I would just notice that as I was shifting, the people that I was talking to, hold on, let me see if I'm okay. I was it's lagging a few minutes ago. Okay. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad. Yes, yes. Come on, spirit. Come on. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Send y'all energy this way. Like, to YouTube. Like, listen, you're gonna work for the people. Work. This is a great message. So it's like, what happens when those little shifts begin to occur? Like, we ask for everything, right? And then, oh, I was talking about my story first. Okay, so I had to remove myself because I noticed that as I was growing, like you were saying as well, I noticed that people were looking at me the same way, right? Even when I went through my whole just self-mastery journey, right? As I was going through that. And I had a new name. I got a new spiritual name. If you guys don't know, my name is Dana, but my spiritual name is Iswa. It's actually much longer than that. But when I got my spiritual name, people were like, okay, yeah, we don't know if we really like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And so they intentionally would call me by my name, my original name. And so at first I used to get a little bothered by that. It's a little noisy in the background. Let me turn this up. At first I used to get really bothered by that. And because I felt like people weren't respecting my journey. Right? They weren't respecting, like, to me, I knew that name represented an identity that I didn't identify with anymore. So I wanted them to be along this other journey with me. But some people, even to this day, they're still there. And that's where our journey ended. Not everybody has to be cut off or anything like that. You use your intuition, right? What works with you. They might not believe the exact same things you believe, but sometimes what I've learned with certain people, you don't have to cut them off. You just decide who they're going to be in your life. Decide what, you know what I'm saying? Like just like how everybody doesn't have to be your friend. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way over and over and over and over, thinking that everybody that wanted to really connect with me and wanted to help me and I wanted to help them or wanted the whatever, that they were a friend and an asset. And I was like, yes, like let's take over the world together. Like let's do this, let's da da da, whatever the case might be. And then I noticed, that I think I just saw something. And then I noticed that as I began to ascend, right? That they all wouldn't be with me, but, most of the time, nobody came. It would just be like, "Oh, a friend dump again? What's happening here?" Not saying it always has to be that way, but sometimes when certain people are choosing to be where they are and maybe it's just you notice the seasons. Maybe that you guys were in each other's life for this particular moment and you had a contract with each other to help each other with this particular thing. And so now it doesn't have to be a sad goodbye, or it doesn't have to be anything that is, any drama or anything. But now you just realize that thank you so much for being in my life in this way. And now it's time for me to keep moving, right? For me to go this way. So that's definitely happened. I had to learn that, over and over and over again. So you gotta define who people are gonna be in your life. Okay. My husband had to remind me about that all the time. Who are they? Who are they gonna be? Everybody's not gonna be in the same category. Everybody's not gonna be the friend. My mom has told me about that too. Everybody's not gonna be the friend. Some people might just be the person that you just know, and y'all talk, and y'all good. And some people, even if they are family, they're some people, they aren't gonna go there with you. They're not. I think we get so wrapped up in our bloodline a lot of times, and wrapped up in who we think we want people to be versus who they really are. Because some of us have that gift of like seeing into people, and seeing who we desire for them to be, and seeing the best version of them. And we're like, they're gonna get there someday. I see it. I see it. I got it. I got it. And then you're like, wait, baby, they might actually get there. You might not be the one that's going there with them. See, it's the same way. Y'all might be going like this, but you can see everything, but you got to make sure that you're not blinded by what you think they could be with who they really are, who they're showing you that they are. And a lot of times when we go through these massive death experiences with certain people or situations, even on our jobs, a lot of it is because we just choose to really, like, I feel like sometimes we ignore the signs, guys. We do, because we get that intuitive signs or warnings or whatever it might be, like however you want to explain it. Take it. We get those signs a lot, and we kind of like just stall a little bit. Have y'all ever put your hand up in the chat if you've ever or thumbs up if you've ever been forced out of a place, whether it was your job, a relationship, because you just refused to let go, and you knew you were supposed to let go. You knew you were supposed to leave. You knew it wasn't serving you, but you kept on calling that same friend. You kept on dealing with that same person. You kept on going to the same place. You kept the same job, and you were just like, I'm just gonna roll with it because and then things start happening one by one by one by one by one, and then you still end up having to leave, or still end up having to move on, right? What did you ask for? I think sometimes we forget what we asked for. Oh man, is it froze again? Is it here? You laugh. I think sometimes we forget that we asked for it. We're like, I want love. I want a relationship. And then next thing you know, you get challenged with loving yourself. And you're like, okay, why am I going through that? You get challenged. Okay, you want love? Let me show you. Let me X, Y, and Z. These different things start coming up because it's what we asked for. Right? We just don't realize it yet. And then halfway through it, we like, I don't even know if I want this anymore. Like, I'm just tired. Like, this has been a lot. This has been a long journey with loving myself, because now I don't have to do all this root work of figuring out why I didn't love myself, saying how to love myself, and doing all these other things. And it's just like, man, right? Definitely have had that experience in work relationships too. Yes, yes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you can relate, because this is something that I feel like everybody goes through on some level. Everybody does. Nobody's exempt from going through a death experience, a tomb experience, and a rise. Everyone goes through this over and over and over and over. And once you start to realize that this is just the soul cycle, this is the soul's journey, and once you start to realize that, like, listen, then it gets easier. And then you go from a death experience that first you were sobbing through, you were crying through, you was on the floor through, you was like, oh my freaking, what the heck is going on? Why? That's why I wrote this book. The time I had to die. Because I said, why in the world does it feel like everything is being taken away from me? What the hell did I do, God? Like, what did I do? Shoot. What happened? This is the first time I've considered it as death experience, but that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yep, you're right. I'm like, "What the heck did I do? How did this happen?" I don't feel like I deserve this, honestly. I feel like this is not really for me. I don't know what happened, but, like, maybe you got the wrong person because I'm not the one this is supposed to happen to, right? Not me. What do you mean? You know? And so that's what happened in my death experience, right? I ended up having to release some things, let go of some things. I felt, you start feeling all these different kind of ways, and even your conversations start to change. You start desiring to go to new places or do different things, or even you might decide to move. You guys, do you understand that when you go through certain experiences, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Spirit is like reminding me about what I was saying about the death, it gets easier. But do you understand that your surroundings can also affect how you feel and affect the stagnancy going on in your life, your surroundings? Like you can change that, but also realize some of the areas you're living in, some of the places where you're living, you got to ask yourself, like, am I meant to be where I'm at? Because sometimes the move also, you know what I'm saying? It's a transformation and it shifts things in your life. I remember many, many years ago, me and my family, we lived in this neighborhood that it was our, you know how you live on that block where your block is the safe one? Your block is the one that like, it's all good and everything. But then maybe like 2 or 3 blocks down over there, 2 or 3 blocks down over there. You're like, okay, who's surviving? Who what am I hearing? What is that? It's I don't know. Is it something going what's happening? Right? And so I lived in this area and I realized while I was writing this book, I told myself and I said, you know what? This neighborhood is dead. I just can't do it. This this neighborhood is dead. It's like um nothing really grows over here. They're all older people that are retired mostly over here. There's no kids over here. We have kids. It's not safe on that block and that block. We kind of like in the center. So I'm just like, okay, there was just so many. It was like, how can I grow in this environment? It doesn't even seem like anything is growing here. Like I guarantee you, I was like, if I plant some food, I don't even feel like it's gonna grow. I'm like, the trees don't even look happy. I'm like, hold on, wait, they don't even look happy. Hold on. I think it's time to leave because as I started to ascend, I started noticing my surroundings a lot more. And I started noticing where I was, and I started noticing like, dang, I started looking around at the environment. But you know what I had to do first? Y'all asked me what did I do? Say what did you do, Iswa? What you do? How the heck you done get up out of this situation? Right? This death experience, the death within your surroundings. Okay, my surroundings had to go through a transformation. I'm saying, y'all, pick up what I'm putting down. Say that, Eastwide. This is about neighborhood. It's so relevant. Oh my gosh, yes. See? I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. My neighborhood had to go through a transformation. I had to transform where I was. What did I do? Because so many people ask me, of course, I'll tell you. No. So many people asked, I'll tell you. I said, you know what? I'm gonna manifest my way out of here. Our family. We're gonna manifest our way out because I'm starting to notice that I'm getting really uncomfortable. But the first thing I did before I decided to like manifest, start doing all that work, because remember, I was early into things. I didn't really know a lot of the stuff that everybody knew. I didn't have anybody. I was like, you need to watch that particular video to tell you what to do. I was like, listen, I was following my intuition. But the first thing I had to do was I had to embrace where I was. Hold on, wait, what you say? Do that make Iswa, do that really make sense? Because you said it's a death experience, a transformation. So how are you gonna say that you have to embrace where you are? Okay, let me tell you. Just hold on a minute. Let me tell you. I had to find gratitude for where I currently was, even though I knew because I knew that I wasn't going to stay. See, you have to make up your mind when you realize that it's not for you. You're like, okay, I know I'm moving. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how. I don't need to know, but all I need to know is that I'm moving. And so in order for me to move, I can't move through anger. Now I know some of us, we get motivated when we get upset. That's when we want to clean the kitchen. That's when we want to do all that stuff. But in this situation, I had to embrace where I was. And I can't see anybody else's comments but yours. Oh, so if anybody else is commenting, let me know. I don't want to miss it. But I was just like, I had to embrace, I had to be in gratitude for where I currently was. You know what? I'm grateful for being here. And guess what? Even though it didn't feel amazing at first, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna sit in the grass and meditate. And guess what? Before there was grass, there was snow. So what did I do? I went outside and sat in the snow and meditated. I'm not telling you to sit in the snow, but that's just what I did because I was just like, I thought it was funny. Honestly, I wanted to see how it would be to, to do it. And I was new into meditation. So it was funny. I wasn't meditating for a long time because at that time I could barely meditate for 5 minutes. So I was not doing a long meditation. I just closed my eyes and I just decided to just reflect and just be in that moment and just see how long I could last sitting in the snow. With my kids out there playing, making snow angels and doing all this type of stuff. Okay. So I embraced where I was. I was in gratitude. I already knew that I was leaving. And then the next thing I did, now this step is a step I got from my mom. Who is here? If you're here, put mom in the chat. Who's here? I need to know who's all here. I feel like I'm talking to one person. Who am I talking to here? I need y'all to come on, put mom in the chat. If you're here, put mom in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Not sure how far behind. Oh, Ginger, you're good. Okay, Ginger, you're good. You're good. All right, Ginger's like mom. Okay, we got Ginger on mom. Who else is here? Mom. All right, there we go. Anybody else here? Let's get these moms going because I got this from my mom. I'm live. Okay, okay, okay. Good, good. Mom. All right. Yep. Nate, I got you. I got you. Mom, I got you though. I know what you mean. You driving. All right. So we got moms in the chat, you guys. So what happened? This is what I got from my mom. Okay. When I was a kid, my mom was like, was manifesting like moving into another place. And this was like honestly something that I didn't even know you should be doing at the time. You know what I'm saying? But my mom was like, I don't know where we're going. I don't know how. I don't know anything about it, but I want to move. And I know that I'm not staying here. So she started packing up stuff and everything into boxes. Hold on, I'm gonna be too loud. But she started packing up things in boxes and having us pack up stuff. And I'm just like, what in the world? Next thing you know, the whole living room had boxes and stuff everywhere. And so I was just like, hmm. And so what that taught me was even though she didn't know where she was going, she was already ready. Like she was already prepping for it. You did that, don't know where or when or how, but I was see what I'm saying? You see? Intuitively. Nobody has to give us a manual and say, here's your ebook, 5 ways to. It's like that's great. Maybe you want other ways to be able to do like the same thing, and that's fine. That's wonderful. But what I'm trying to get you to see is that sometimes when we just our intuitive abilities are already there even before we realize it. Subconsciously, it's already been happening. It's just that sometimes in childhood, we get a little bit mixed up when they talk about, having imaginary friends and different things like that. And it kind of takes the excitement out of imagination, right? And so that's why imagination is coming back. Ooh, that's for another day, guys. Moved across the country by myself with no job or no place to live. Come on. What the? Now, I'm not saying everybody do that. That's her story. Like, that's her experience. Because sometimes we'll be like, you know what? Ginger did it. I'm packing up everything today. But you got to understand what Ginger's mindset was when she did that. You gotta make sure that you have the juice, your own juice, because it might not look the same as somebody else's. Yes, many people do that. So if you're able to, definitely, if you have the faith to, if you really believe that that's what you're meant to do, you follow what your path is. Because it might not look like somebody else's. You might get to that same to a house too, but it might not look like leaving everything right away. You might be the person that says, you know what, I feel comfortable if I have something saved. I feel comfortable if at least I know what the goal is. I'm okay with certain steps. Right. And some people might say, look, I'm selling everything. I'm going tomorrow. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to do what you feel. You can't get caught up in somebody else's way of doing things. Use it as inspiration, use it as motivation, but don't get caught in it. Because sometimes we get caught in other people's reality and we're wondering why we get so frustrated in our own. It's because we're allowing somebody else's to come over into ours. You allow it. Now, they haven't done it. You are allowing this to happen, to come over into our reality, and then we get stuck. We're like, why isn't it working for me like it was working for them? I'm seeing this happen. Why isn't it working? You said you said, "Don't everyone do that?" I peeped for years, emotionally, energetically. Wow, you prep for years. Yes. See? You see what I'm saying? Thank you for saying that. Because that's truth. She's like, look, before I even had the courage to move, to shift, I prepped for years. I had to get my emotions together. I had to get myself together energetically. Ooh, why, guys? This is what happens. She did the nervous system work. I'm not saying it's going to take you years to do that. But what I'm saying is, she said energetically, emotionally, I had to get myself there. If your nervous system don't feel safe, baby, I don't know where you're going. I don't know. Because you got to get in a calm state. Because a lot of times when we feel like we're like, I got to move now, it's like this is the friction. This is what's happening. Because it's like, hold on, wait, like you trying to wait. You are going to move, but hold on, let me put this wall up here right here because I need you to calm down. I need you to understand that everything is working for you, not against you. I need you to understand that you don't need to know where, how, and why, but all you need to do is do what you can control and then let the rest go. Then the fact that it came together, yeah, see? Then the things come together. Sometimes they don't come in the order that we want them to come in either. Sometimes we're like, okay, listen, I got the whole thing planned out. Y'all, I'm a planner. So I know I be having all these books and I plan everything. And I'm just like, okay, I got everything's planned out. So I'm going to save this in my savings. I'm going to get rid of these things. I'm gonna put these, and you can just have a whole list of everything that you put together. Yo, when me and my family moved to Florida, we had a whole list. You said, Mom, okay, got you. We had a whole list of everything that we were putting together, a whole list. And we thought everything was gonna go perfectly right. We were like, listen, we planned for this. It's gonna be an amazing experience. Nothing can go wrong because they say if you plan it out, it'll work out. Yo, we planned that thing out, and the way it worked out was leaving our family homeless. That's what happened. That's how it worked out. It left us right there on the street. Like I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about it now because I'm just like, whoa, what a transformation. What a death experience. See, because I was like, yeah, no, that never happened to me. No, I plan too much. I figure stuff out. I know X, Y, and Z. But when it hits you, when you least expect it, even when you've planned everything to the T, and you're like, nope, this. I had the signs. I had the signs, but I was just so into what I wanted. I had the signs that something was coming. But I was like, no, 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 no. I done planned this out. It's gonna work out. No, 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 no. Mm. And I bet you learned a lot about how resilient you are. Yes. I learned a lot of different things. One of the biggest things that I learned from that experience was that home is not on the outside of you, but on the inside of you. Because I kept telling myself, I'm homeless, I'm homeless, I'm homeless. And at the time, I wasn't, I was, see, my idea of homeless was at the time like living on the street. So I kept saying like, but well, no, it was not being in your house, your own personal house, homeless, right? Your own personal house. That's what it was. But at the time when I was saying man, like feeling homeless, and I kept repeating this, even internal. See, y'all don't understand that y'all internal thoughts. What you saying to yourself inside yourself. Come on. Come on. What you saying to yourself inside yourself matters. So internally, I'm thinking like, dang, man, we homeless. We don't got no home. Da 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 da. But I didn't realize. I'm like, well, we're living at Airbnbs at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That has swimming pools connected to them, and we're like living the life. Like we had some really amazing Airbnbs, and then it's like once that savings left, my mom kicked in and helped. Once that left, then it was just like, oh snap. Kicked in right away, right? But the home part, I kept saying that, and then I realized that I was manifesting I don't want to say my own demise, but I was manifesting an experience that I didn't even resonate with. Y'all see? They don't tell you the other part of manifestation, especially when you're going through a death experience. Shoot. Oh, wait. What do you really believe? What do you really want? Who do you really say that you are? See, y'all, this is all before the tomb experience. Y'all gonna love that one. This is all before that experience. So, what I realized, I was like, man, when eventually I felt like I manifested, not just me on myself, but I felt like I had manifested and said that enough times to now I really am living in a car. Now I really am living in a vehicle, waking up to nature. That was the best part about the whole experience, was waking up in nature. Having the sun wake you up, having the birds wake you up and be like, "Oh my god," like just listening to it before the world even like starts going in. You know what I mean? But finding that home is within you. It's not something you ever lose. Home has been coming up a lot in the collective, within the collective consciousness, within the last few weeks. Home, coming back to home, home, home. And I was like, man, am I getting a home? Is something happening with the home? Like, you know how you be like, home. That's all I heard. I heard home. What's going on with the home? And it's like returning to home, returning to self, the home that's within you. You are the home. Right? So I had to learn that. And that's how I was able to start doing certain things and changing my mindset about where I was and what really mattered and different things, that was going on. So that is, I believe that's book 3. That's book 3 to the time I had to die experience. I tell y'all when that would come out, you're gonna want that book. Let's see. Mm, you said so true. That's how I had the courage to leave a career. Ooh, 20 plus years without a plan. Ooh, come on. And I love me a good plan, but the deep energetic work I did first helped me make the leap and sustained me. What? See what I'm saying? Y'all see how we start really realizing once we start being consciously aware of what we're doing, we start realizing, like, hey, listen, I was already doing this ahead of time. Even some things that you didn't even notice, right? You didn't even notice it, and you were already doing it. You were already doing the work. So, when you're going into these death experiences, this is where I wanna say the blank hits the fan. This is where you make a decision. Who do you wanna be? Who are you, right? What resonates? What doesn't? Getting to the root of certain things, right? The root of who you are, I would say. Home. The root, home. Okay. So let me see. So we're finishing up that for key number 1. So that was just one. I think we just went all over. I might say some stuff from key 2. All right, but that was key 1. If y'all good, put a thumbs up in the chat and then I'll keep going. Let's make sure y'all good. Yes, yes. Okay. All right, we good. We good. We good. Okay. Let's keep going, y'all. This is so much fun. So, we already talked about this. You're during the death experience, you're learning about the version of you that can't go forward, right? That the version of you that you've outgrown, even if it's people, places, things, whatever it is. The second key is to feel and release. Okay, good. Got your thumbs up. The second key is to feel and release. So, this is what I say in the book, guys. I said, once I began the process of finding the root cause of many of my issues, I allowed myself to feel. Ooh, y'all, this is all happening within the death experience. Okay? This is all happening. This is the identity work, y'all. Oh my gosh. The part 1 of identity, because the second one comes in the tomb, and the tomb is when things hit the fan for real, for real. But I said, I allow myself to feel, to be mad, to get angry, no matter how raw and uncomfortable it was. Then I began developing a new mindset by turning negative thoughts into positive ones. What? 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 Do y'all understand that? Do y'all get that? How many times have we been told, like, don't get mad, don't get upset, don't be low vibrational, don't X, Y, and Z, don't Before I even knew what that was, I was like, listen, I feel like the only way out is in. I feel like you know what I'm saying? I feel like the only way to get out of this, the only way to, because for me, I looked at my death experience as a total, like, just, I felt like I was going, like I tell people, I went to my inner hell. And I was like, how many keys is here? Because I want them all, because I'm tired. What is happening here? But I allow myself to feel and to be okay with feeling things. That's what I had to learn, right? You start feeling the shift. You start feeling what you neglected before, what you were afraid of before. You start feeling those things. And then once you feel them, you don't allow yourself to stay in those feelings. But what you allow yourself to do is to feel it, be honest about it, and then release it. That's the other part of it. Some of us, we get stuck at the feeling part, and then that's it. Then it's over. It's over. We stopped at key two. We're done. We're like, I feel it. That's it. I think I just want to revert back to my old self again because I don't feel safe. And your nervous system is like, what the heck are you doing? No, we don't do new things. That's not safe here. We do the old things. Remember what happened when you tried to do something new. Remember what happened the last time you tried to step out there and have some confidence. The last time you decided to do something that most people didn't appreciate or didn't support. Remember the last time. So I don't really think that we should be doing anything. We shouldn't really be in our feelings. I think we're just going to suppress these things and keep it moving. Woo! You said we have the ability to feel the range of emotions for a reason, not to stay stuck there, but to face it, then transmute it. Ooh, yes, come on. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. Oh man. But we've been like, look, you see, that's the thing. This is the thing, and this is what I tell people too, even with my kids. I tell my kids, like, listen, like when you're feeling something, it's okay to be upset, but like I don't stay upset. Like give yourself, if you can, give yourself a time frame. And this is just what my thoughts are at this moment in time, you guys. Um, I don't know if I should have put disclaimers on here or not. You know how they do, like, this is for entertainment purposes. And then I don't know, but hey, listen, this is what it is. But put a certain time frame on it. Try it out. See how it works. When you're like, listen, this has made me upset. Be honest about it. Because through that, doing the death experience, you guys, it's the honest. This is the time where you're being very honest with yourself because you're breaking patterns and you're figuring out where some of those patterns came from. You're figuring out why you feel the way you feel. And then you're also figuring out how to freaking release what you felt, how to release what doesn't serve you, how to release those labels that were put on you, like angry woman. Woo! Hold on. That was one of mine. That was one of mine. Oh, she's just too much, and she just has an attitude, and she just this. And it's like, and then we can take those things in. But now during the death experience, that's when you really get clear about who you really are. You let go of what people said that you were. Oh, come on. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. You let go of it. You let go of it. It doesn't serve you anymore, right? All right, so you feel those things and then you let them go. So I say in this book, you guys, I really gave a shout out to my husband during this experience because I didn't have during this particular experience a lot of guidance with what I was doing, right? That I felt like outside of me. This was before I really started to really communicate with my spirit tribe in that way. You know what I'm saying? Before I consciously was aware that I was receiving help the whole time. There we go. I put it that way. So during this time, I'm being completely raw. I'm like, listen, before my throat chakra was blocked in these type of ways, I held things back. Now I did speak, I did tell people what was on my mind at times. I really did. But there were certain things that I held back, whether it was my feelings about certain things, whatever it was, communicating, expressing myself a certain type of a way, feeling like you're not heard or misunderstood, all that's throat chakra energy. So I was really into that. And I give props to my husband on that because I'm like, during this time, I was probably the rawest I've ever been. I didn't care who feelings I hurt. Now I'm not saying do that, but that's where I was. And that's why I say your death experience grows. Thank you, Spirit, for reminding me again. Your death experience, once you are consciously aware of what you're going through, it shifts. It can shift like something really quick and easy. Let's use an example where you're doing a job or a service and you're like, listen, this is draining me. This reminds me of this. I really don't like X, Y, and Z. And then you decide to say, okay, I think I want something different, right? And you just shift your mindset about that. You're like, I don't identify with that. I'm letting that go. But sometimes, even before you let it go, you might decide, I'm going to actually take a step and do this particular thing, right? So then you start to align with doing that particular thing. So whether it is, let's use jobs for example, because this is really easy. Let's say you're at a job you don't want. Then you decide, you know what? It's not working for me. I'm not getting paid the money I want to get paid. So now I end up finding another job. And before that happens, you can't control if you get the job or not. But you can fill out the application. You can take the you can do what you can control, right? Take the action and then allow that thing to come right to you. So when you're that's an example of like a death experience, right? So then let's say you took the action and you did it, you decided what you want, what you don't want, you end up aligning with this job, and then let's say you get the job. Okay. Well, that was an experience. The death was of your old job. You decided you don't identify with that person anymore. You deserve more money. You don't want to keep working the same way you were working. Even people that are coming out of these jobs and doing the things that they really desire to do and working for themselves. Even those people, right? That was an experience of a death experience, a tomb experience, and a rise moment when you decide to take your life into your own hands by deciding who you are, what you want to do, and then taking action on that. Okay. So you had to go through some type of feeling and be honest about that feeling. Some people that aren't honest, they'll just be like, well, you know what, I feel this way, but you know what, I'm just gonna stay here because it's providing stability. I'm just gonna stay here because like I don't know what else I'll do with my life and I'm not happy, but I'm just gonna continue to go through it. That's how it is. That simple, that easy for you to get caught into that. So this second key is about the feel and release. And I'm gonna stop right here, you guys. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm going to put this in the chat. Let me see. Hold on, you guys. Let me see if I can grab it from over here. I'm gonna stop right here. Y'all still with me? Who's still with me? Who's still here? Who's still with me? Mm-mm-mm. Are y'all enjoying this so far? Anybody enjoying this so far? I know sometimes we hear repetitive things and everything, but we need to. We need to hear it. It needs to be repetitive, right? Because if you're here, there's something that you're meant to hear. So some things we need to hear again. We need to go back over. We need to address. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So I'm going to drop this in the chat. I want you guys to click on this. Let me grab the thing real quick. There we go. Okay. I know it's like catching up. Okay, yes, appreciate you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna put this in the chat. And right now, guys, I'm gonna take about a 5-minute break. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go over the next two keys. And I want you guys to click on here in the meantime, you guys. All right. So I will be right back. I'm gonna take a quick break. Let me find my stuff because I know I can't use somebody else's. So all right, you guys. I'll be right back. Iswa. Iswa. All right, you guys. Yes. Yeah, we got two more keys. And then I think I got one more thing I want to talk about, and then we're done, guys. Day one is complete. Okay, I see some hearts. All right, guys. All right, let's keep going. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you're here. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you're here and you're good and you're ready for us to move on to the third key. So the second key was just about feeling and releasing, not being ashamed to feel. Welcome back. Thanks for sharing. Yes, you're welcome. Not being ashamed to feel, okay? And then also releasing it. You don't want to take your feelings with you because is you're going to be that same person that you were before. It's about releasing it. But one of the ways that helps you to do that is through the third key, which is the new mindset. While you're in this death experience, realizing who you are, one of these keys is having a new mindset. You're developing a new mindset about who you are, about life. And really, it's more so about turning negative situations into positive. Okay, the negative things, the negative thoughts, right? So, I used to use this example about, acknowledging that things are working for you, not against you, right? So there are some times where I think that we, during this death experience, now I want to say during the death experience, doing the tomb is a little different, but doing a death experience, this is where when things come up and we want to blame everybody else. But they did this, but they did that. I'm this way because of this person. I'm that way because of this person. And this happened to me. And it's just like, oh man, I remember having to create a new mindset about what it was going to look like what I was willing to take with me and not. I wasn't willing to take with me blaming everybody else for everything that occurred in my life. I wasn't willing to take that with me. I had to develop something new. Um, I knew that if I kept the old mindset, it wouldn't feel the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how your old mindset is not supposed to go with you, right? So that's just like if you say that you want to be a millionaire, okay, or a billionaire, whatever you say. And that's just the first thing that came to my mind. But let's say you say that. We talked about new mindset shifts. Your mindset has to be ready for that. Your mindset has to shift. How does a millionaire think? What does a millionaire do? What does the billionaire think? What does the billionaire do? Your mindset has to shift. And this is going to go right into your identity, right? Realizing who you really are, right? What you really desire. Okay. And so that's all about your mindset. I know we talked about that a little bit before, but when I was talking about moving and what thing, my mom had this mindset shift, like not I need to know what's working out. She had a whole complete mindset shift, and she was like, no, embody the energy of what I desire before I even know all the answers. That new mindset shift, and we do that. We already do this. Sometimes we're consciously aware of it and sometimes we're not, but we already do this. We already shift. Okay. So this was in my experience, I talk about in the book, this was a tough one for me because I was at at that stage in my life where I was just like I was either the person that I felt like was wrong about everything and blamed for like I was just it was just me. I was always the problem, or I was at a point where I was like, it's everybody else. So, yo, I went back and forth. Anybody else here go through that? Anybody else where you go through, it's everybody else's fault or it's all your fault, and then you be like, it's everybody else, and then you end up having to change your mindset and develop a new mindset and really learn to accept the things that you cannot control, accept the things that have occurred and be like, you know what? I didn't like it, but I know that it happened for a reason. I didn't like it. I didn't like what they said. I didn't like how they treated me. I didn't like X, Y, and Z. But you know what? I'm just going to, even if you have to look at it as tricking your mind, you know you can't do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can try. But the reason why I say you can is because your nervous system already knows. So sometimes for certain people, they might say that they trick their mind, but I feel personally like they're not really tricking their mind. They really do have to access a certain level of belief for things to shift. You know what I mean? And some people say fake it till you make it. Yeah, but when you really faking it, you're telling yourself you're faking it, but you really aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to embody the energy first. Your nervous system is it knows you. You know, so you know you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't trick it. Not that way. You say, "Yep, mhm." Yeah, and I'm just like, "Ooh," so I went through that point where I was just like, "Listen, hold on, wait." Different things. And then I had to shift into the mindset of realizing the help that I have, realizing like, okay, listen, like I remember I give you guys an example. In the book, I talk about, you know, a church experience that I had where my husband was like, I don't want you to get involved. I don't want you to do this. And I was like, no, they asked me to help. I want to help. They really need the help. And like this is easy for me. I know how to do this. Let me just help. Let me just do this. Let me just get involved. And little old Woo, guys. I caused so much hell for myself. It was crazy. It was unnecessary. It was crazy. He was like, I saw this coming. But I was just like, no, like I was looking to be accepted. I was looking to, when somebody wants to be accepted, they feel like they're unnoticed. I want to feel accepted. I want to, um, be in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? I want people to acknowledge me too. I want people to see the greatness within me too. That's where I was. And I was just like, but then during this experience, when this root was coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, like he warned me and he told me. I didn't listen. And then I started realizing different moments in my life where I felt something that I just chose not to listen to. You know what I'm saying? I start taking the blame away from the people I experienced the that experience with and everything like that. And I started bringing it back to myself, not blaming myself and saying, girl, you should have known better. Why didn't that happen too? That happens to us too. We start getting to blaming ourselves, right? That's why we gotta get into that forgiveness, right? Started blaming myself and different things and taking that in, not in that way, not in that way, but taking it in like, wow, I see the signs. Now I'm developing a new mindset. I'm realizing that like different things occur for certain things to occur. You know what I'm saying? I'm connecting the dots. So now my mindset is starting to shift into blaming everyone else or being so hard on myself to just realizing these connectors, the dots, that the puzzle pieces that all go together, right? That was a very big deal for me. So I experienced a lot of different things, you guys, and I talk about so much of it in here. I'm gonna move on to the last key. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Y'all know my lives normally be like 3 hours. Is the saying. But it's because I feel like everybody on here, I feel like y'all got it. I feel like y'all got it. We're just going over the power within this. We're just going over the power within this shift and how you do this shift all the time. But now that you're doing it consciously, when you go through this shift, now you won't go through it feeling so angry. Now you won't go through it repeating some of those same steps. Now you won't go through it thinking I gotta release all the time. I gotta heal this. I gotta X, Y, and Z. It gets easier and easier. And then the next time it occurs, you're like, oh, I know it. I know exactly what this is. Okay, I'm shifting. I'm ascending. Oh yeah, this is a party. Okay, now I'm about to turn some music on. Now I'm about to turn music on. I'm about to dance because I'm excited because something is falling off. Something is I'm letting go of. I'm ascending. I'm moving. I'm transforming to something else. Oh my gosh, my prayers are answered. Like if you pray, if you manifest it, whatever it is, you're like, I know that it's my time. It's my time. Because when these certain things start coming up, it reminds me of who I am, of what I said, who I said I was, what I said I wanted to do. Because when you're shifting, a lot of times you want to be like, oh my God, I said I wanted those millions, but like I didn't know that I needed to, like, I never knew how to manage money before. So I'm having to go through all these financial things because I'm learning how to manage the freaking money because I asked to be a millionaire and they know how to manage money. And if they don't know, they paying somebody to manage it for them. So you either got to do two things. You learn how to manage money or you got to have the income to be able to pay somebody else to teach you or manage your money for you. Right? And sometimes we go into that, we be like, oh my God, this is happening to me. Why? Why? And it's like, no, it's happening for you. That's why. What did you ask for? What did you say you wanted? So get excited when you get into these experiences. It's not one of the ones where you just start sitting down, you just be crying and you just be in the corner like me. Or you just be in the shower for a long time. You're like, I'm not coming out into some change in my life. Y'all know how many times I did that? I was like, listen, I was like, I'm not coming out this shower until something changes my life. I don't care what happens. The water just gonna have to get cold. I'm just gonna have to sit here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna sit down and get comfortable in this tub and while the shower's going because something has to change in my life right now. And I'm not accepting anything less. Y'all, I'm telling you, when you had enough of your old identity, you got to think about what you're willing to do. What action are you willing to take when you're so tired of that old identity, those old things coming back up? What are you willing to do about it? What action are you willing to take? Is it going to require you to get up earlier? Is it going to require you to go to bed later? What is it going to require from you? Right? Because the stuff that you're used to, the stuff where you felt really comfortable, that stuff. you might have to go. Because a lot of times when you're ascending and it's not comfortable. It's not. It's really not comfortable. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Until you start getting used to it and you just like, I know what this is. I see it. And so now I'm looking at it in a different way. Now it feels great because I know what's on the other side of this. I know that every time I go through this process, I know that I let go of something, I shed something. I know that I ascend. I know that it works out in my favor. I remember what it is I asked for. I remember what it is that I said I wanted, and who I'm that other layer of me, you know what I'm saying? That's uncovered. I know what this is. So now I can move forward in peace and I can move forward celebrating and not being so down, right? Because it isn't new for you. You've been doing this your whole life. You've been ascending. Your whole life you've been ascending. You said yes, cause when I tell y'all the right right before your life started, got some wild text messages that have potential to throw me. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, balled up in the corner. Oh my gosh. I took a breath and turned and yes, turned completely here. Yes. See what I'm saying? See, you see, I say everybody that's on this live. See, not everybody is meant to be on this live. Not everybody is meant to see this. But if it comes across you and you're watching this right now, whether it's the replay or whether it's live, you better believe that I said, welcome to your ascension. I said, well, welcome, welcome. Because this is just the spirit reminding you that you're about to go to another level. Y'all don't understand. I've been hearing train, okay? And I know I want to play the song, There's a Train Coming, because I played that last year when I felt it. Now I'm feeling the train again. So I'm like, who's about to take off? Who? I wrote some notes down of things I've been feeling in the spirit lately. It was like the train. I saw fire. I saw a roar. Get ready to rumble. Like that came to me. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm like, who? What is who on here is going through something right now and they know that it's in alignment with who it is that they desire, like not who you desire to be, who you are, because sometimes we get that mixed up, right? It's aligning with who you really are, right? Sometimes we feel like we're creating new characters. Now we say create new characters. I used to take it literally years ago, but sometimes you might have to say things a certain way for you to be able to take it in. So sometimes you might hear someone say, create your new character. But this is a new character for you. This is who you are. You just didn't know it was you because all the other stuff you didn't let die. Every time you kept bringing something with you every time you ascended. So, like, now this time is a time where you really is about to let it all go because you're about to ascend to a point you've never been to before. Come on. You said, and teaching and reminders are so on time. Yes. So much deep gratitude to you for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. Y'all, listen, I'm telling you, whoever is on here, I'm telling you, listen, I'm not even distracted by how many people is on here. Because y'all know if I was on my other platform, y'all know how many people come on my platform. Like, y'all already know how many people show up. But I was just like, listen, I had to release and surrender to like what it is. Even if it was two people here, I had to release and surrender to who was all here. You know what I'm saying? And what, because I was just like, it's for specific people at this time. See, not everybody is ready. When you're going through a transformation and you're going through a death experience, right? A death of the old, okay? The old people, the old patterns, all that type of stuff, right? Imagine this. When you start talking to people, you're going to start finding like energy more. You're going to start finding the next, like it's going to start coming in, creeping in there. You're going to start seeing it. You're going to start seeing some of those people go, and then you're going to start seeing other, your direction is going to be like, oh, over here. It's going to start getting your attention because this is what you're aligning with. It's just when we get to that point where we're in the middle and we're just like, hold on, I think this makes me feel comfortable and this makes me feel uncomfortable. This is what I'm used to. I'm not used to this. I don't really know. And then you confuse the whole situation and then you feel like you're stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening in my life right now. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Look. We moving on and up. Yes, and this part isn't coming along. Yes, it's a sign to rejoice. I thank you so so much, Iswa. Oh, you are so welcome. Listen, y'all. I'm telling you, that's why it's important to be where you are right now. You are in the right place at the right time for such a time as this, guys. That's what my queen Esther says, right? That for such a time as this, because what I've been feeling energetically for April, I was telling y'all this. I think unless I said it this rising on IT, but I was talking about like, y'all, this energy that I'm feeling for April and May is massive. I mean, I don't. It's big. It's kind of like I want you to know to plant the seeds that you're meant to plant. I need you to know to water the seeds. April showers, water the seeds that you left over there because you were so focused on this over here because you was like, hold on, I need you to go and really decide what you really want and start watering those seeds. Maybe it's not about starting over for you. Maybe it's starting where you left off, whatever it might look like for you, but do it because it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off in April too. But in May, what y'all think is on the other side of an ascension? What do you think is on the other side of a rise? What's on the other side of a rise? What's on the other side of transformation? What's on the other side of that? Remember, death is not rejection, it's redirection. You're not being rejected in life. You're not being rejected by who you believe in, who you pray to, whatever the thing. You're not being rejected. You're being redirected. And it's all working out for your good because there are certain things that's within you that maybe you haven't even spoke out loud yet. Maybe you haven't even got to express just that, but it's there. And it's time for you to allow that to rise up within you guys. It's time to freaking spring forward. We already got the message about that. We already got that message. We're supposed to be springing forward right now. It's time for that. It's time. Things are rising up to the surface, and so are your gifts. All the things that you said that you wanted, all those things, those are things that are rising up to the surface. Water it by doing what? Taking the action. What is it going to require? What does that identity require from you? What does it look like? You have to decide that I'm finally going to let go and trust. And let me just tell y'all, when I was looking up 333, because y'all know I love me some threes. One of the things it said, do y'all know what it said for? Of course, we know completion, alignment, the Trinity, right? But one of the things it said a spiritual freaking wake up call. Wha- you gotta look it up. Look it up. Look it up. It said, yeah, 333. It said spiritual wake up call. So I don't know. No, I do know that if you on here right now, this is your spiritual wake up call. That's why I did it at 333, guys. I didn't even know at the time. I just looked it up and I was just like, I already know what 333 means, but sometimes see, we have to not be afraid of revisiting certain things, even if we have the knowledge. Because of course, I know what 3 represents. Of course, 333 is just a magnified version of 3, what the energy of 3 is. That's the energy, right? But I was like, let me go. Let me look this up again." Like when you start following your intuition and you put yourself aside, you put that part of yourself that's like, "I already know this. I've already learned this. I've been doing this for years. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. I'm a this. I'm a that." When you start putting that stuff aside, you're like, "Listen, I don't care if I have to go back to ABCD. Let me go back and see what I missed. Let me go back and see what I need to. What is it that I need to? If I'm led there, let me go. Let me go to that point." So I went there, and when I saw this, I was like, I was like, what spiritual wake up call? What? What? So if y'all listening to this message, whether it's on replay or y'all on here right now live with me, y'all got to share this message. Share it with somebody that resonates with you. Share it with somebody, and even share it with somebody that doesn't. Because sometimes, guess what, guys? I'm not afraid of talking to people and telling people about things that don't believe in what I believe in. Because 10 times out of 10, I'll be like, yeah, I believe in what you believe in. You just don't know it yet. I'm just like, hold on. There's some things. Now, I understand some things, right? But I'm saying like those basic things that people just really just, they're like, you know what I'm saying? It's time for us to remove what it looks like on what people look like on the outside, what their religious beliefs are, and it's time to come together in unity. That's ascension. It's realizing that we're all one. It's realizing the power that you really do have, especially together. especially together. That's ascension on another level. You get what I'm saying? It's easy to just talk to the same people that know everything you know or that's similar to you. It's easy to do that. I mean, and sometimes I say sometimes it's a little hard because then depending on who you're talking to, right? Because sometimes y'all will be going back and forth and you think you know, I think I know. But overall, you guys, but where's the challenge in that? Where's the ascension in that? That's why I love the Jesus story, even if I know a lot of people don't feel like it's true, even if it's just energetic, even if see, because that story is just so significant because it's just like, listen, one of the things this is a perfect example of when people believe in certain things and they don't even do it. They don't. Oh, it's 3-3. Come on, come on, come on. um, even when people how people will say they believe in something but then they don't walk in it. Because one thing I learned about when I was a kid about Jesus was that he walked with some of everybody, women, men, people that people was looking at him like, how the heck are you walking with them people? Do you know what they did? Do you know who they are? And he was like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like we aren't just meant to touch people that look like us, that think like us, that talk like us, that believe the same things. We aren't just meant to talk to those people. We're meant to also talk to the people that don't, right? Y'all know I told y'all the story about I had a person that I did a live reading on and they sat in front of me and they didn't believe in what I do. They was just like, I don't believe in anything that you do, but let's go. I could have used that moment to say, "Oh, you can pack your bags." You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go ahead and go. But I was just like, "Okay," because I love that challenge. I was like, "Ooh, this is about to be so good. I'm about to love this." And did I love it? Yes. Did that person love it? Yes. That person left out crying. They was in happy tears because they was just like I was like, "But do you see why I wouldn't let you talk? Do you see why I only asked for your first name and your last name? Because I didn't want you to tell me nothing about yourself because I want you to understand that this is really real." I had to go through that in order to be where I am today. I had to go through rejection of others in order to realize that, woo, why am I being faced with so much rejection? What am I rejecting within my own self that is reflecting back at me? Y'all, we got to have some real questions for ourselves. So, this last key, you guys, I'm gonna go over this last key. This last key is about forgiving and loving. And y'all already know that a lot of times it's hard for us to forgive ourselves because we feel like we should have known. We would have known better if this wouldn't have happened, if right? So it's hard for us to forgive ourselves for not knowing, not doing better, or even forgive others for not knowing. Even when we know they weren't in the same positions that we were in before. I mean that we are in now. Like they didn't have the same knowledge. That really gets me. Is when we have situations where it's like, they didn't know what you knew. They didn't have access to the same knowledge that you had access to where they were. You know what I'm saying? And so it's okay. It's okay because forgiveness frees. And that's something I talk about in my book because I remember my mom telling me, like, listen, you don't want to be stuck in unforgiveness because unforgiveness will stop your blessings. And I remember being like, ooh, I don't want to be the one to stop the blessings for my family. So I'm about to just start forgiving everybody. I started calling people and was just like, look, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. I don't know. I don't even know if you've done anything. I just want to say I forgive you and I love you. All right. Like I have people's like, but we good. I'm like, I know. I'm just calling everybody. I'm just calling, different people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making sure, because I wanna, I'm not saying you have to do that because now I've learned other ways. But back then, that was the only way. I like I said, I was being led by my intuition. I was just kind of like, okay, what do I need to do? And I was like, you don't know how many times I've been the what they call the bigger person. The person that's just like, listen, even though I know I was not wrong in this situation, I'm still going to put myself out there and forgive this person or be the first one to say, hey, listen, That's where I was then. Now I've learned a lot more and I've grown more and I realize more of who I am. And so I realize that there are certain things that I don't even have to do anymore. You know what I'm saying? I realize there's a lot of explaining that I don't have to do anymore. I don't have to explain why I live the way I do. I don't have to explain to people who I am so much. I don't have to explain why I do anything. I don't have to. It's a choice, you know? But this key is about forgiving through love and also loving, right? I said I started this journey retrieving this key by embracing where I was in my life at that time. I couldn't be mad anymore about what I could have done, should have done, or where I would be if I had done this or that. I had to let go of the expectations I put on myself and begin healing through forgiveness. Mm. To forgive yourself, you must release the old version of yourself. Realize that the version of you, who you were then, was created out of pain. That person was created out of neglect. That person was created out of loneliness, feeling misunderstood, right? Feeling rejected, just to name a few. The old way you spoke, right? Mm. That person was created by the way you responded to things, how you tolerated things, your old mindset, the things that weren't even true. Understand progress over perfection. This is when I started learning about that. Well, not when I started, but um, I knew to love myself, right? I just needed to forgive myself. But how? I knew to love myself. I knew to love myself. Mm, but I just needed to forgive myself, but I didn't know how. That tells a whole lot. When you know you're supposed to love yourself and you say, I love myself, but you haven't forgiven yourself. To love yourself is to forgive yourself. To love yourself is to forgive others because they are you and you are them. And you start to realize once you get to a level of consciousness that we are all one and we're just having different experiences so that we can continue to evolve as a soul. And there is the only separation is our avatar. And that's how we're able to express ourselves, right? So I had to realize that I had to go on a journey of loving myself. How do I love myself? Where does that start? Well, for me, it started being naked in the mirror. It started looking at myself. It started really looking at me, not just glancing, not just washing my hands. I started realizing how much I never really looked at myself in the mirror, how much I never really just like took it in. I was so concerned about just doing, being this and that, and the roles and the titles and other identities I had taken on. But then I had to learn to forgive myself. And through forgiving myself, I really started to have compassion for myself and grace. It's time for you to have compassion and grace and to start embracing who you are, loving who you are right now. Because through loving who you are, who you've become, you're able to appreciate where you're going. Listen, y'all. What? Mm. I said the first part of reversing this curse, because I looked at it as a curse, you guys. I said was reversing all the negative things I thought and said about myself. Remember, everything starts with a thought. It starts with a thought. So before I even spoke it, I acted as though I believed it already. Mm, come on, you guys. So during this experience, during this death experience, you guys, those were the keys that I went through subconsciously. And when I became consciously aware of it, I started writing it down. I started saying, you know what? I want to put this in a book. Not right away, I decided, but later on. And I started to realize later on in life that the death experience doesn't have to be like that every time. It took me 4 books to figure that out. 4 of my own experiences like that I've like been like, okay, book 1 is this, all right, book 2. It took me a long time to figure out that oh, I can celebrate through this process. I don't have to be sad when a person is, leaving my life like that. And even if I am sad, I'm gonna let myself be sad for that moment, but then I'm gonna rise. But then I'm gonna go into my tomb experience, and then I'm gonna rise, right? Y'all still who's still with me, y'all? Put some hearts in the chat. Y'all been sitting here. Y'all been look. It's almost been 2 hours. Oh, look at this. Hold on, wait. I want to tell y'all this. Look, sometimes death can feel good until it's time for your tomb experience. What? Hold on. Wait, let me say it again. Let me say it again. Sometimes, see, sometimes even when you be rejoicing through that death experience, it get all good until it's time for the tomb. You're like, hold on, wait. Because we get motivated, right? People get motivated during the death experience too. You get motivated, inspired, right? To take the first step. You're like, yes, all right, I done took the first step. And that's just like sometimes when you decide to start like some type of exercise routine, right? And you're like, the first 2 days was wonderful. But by the time I got to the fifth day, I think I kind of slipped up a bit. By the time I got, you know what I mean? Different things, right? Different goals that you set for yourself. So when it comes to this experience, right? A lot of people have a hard time moving into the tomb experience. They have a hard time because this is the time where rest feels like laziness, where stillness feels like emptiness. Like you're just like, okay, God's abandoned me, the universe, whoever you are, source, all of the above. Y'all all ain't good. What y'all all are not here for me. Why am I here by myself? I thought I had a spirit tribe. What is going on with my spirit tribe? I don't feel anything. I just feel like I'm by myself and alone. I feel disconnected from the world. I feel disconnected from my family. I feel disconnected from my friends. Mm. And because of that disconnection within the tomb, you can't allow the old identity to start creeping right back in. Oh my gosh. Are y'all ready for the tomb experience? Are you ready? Come on. Are you ready? Because when you're in that tomb experience, you guys, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. It's something. It's something being in that tomb experience, but it's necessary. It's very, very necessary. It is the step. It is the step that I feel like everyone has to take. I feel it. I literally feel like this is just a part of the soul's journey. I do. I really do. I feel like it's just a part of the soul's journey. You have to, take the tomb experience. You know what I mean? Because the tomb experience is where you take your power back. Mhm. Mhm, 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 mhm. It's when you start taking your energy back because you're like, "Oh, snap. Now that I've let all that stuff go, I think I got room for more, and I think I know just where I left my energy. I think I know just what experience I need to call my energy back from. I think I know. I think." So during the death experience, that's when we say enough is enough. During the tomb experience is when we're like, "All right, this is where I transform. This is where things might get a little quiet. This is also where things might get a little scary. I might get a little freaked out. Mhm. This is where it is. This is where you say, "You know what? I'm ready to step into my new. I've released what I need to release, and I'm ready to step into my new whatever the purpose is, your new vehicle, your new relationship, your new home, your new whatever." And this is where you really start to transform. Mhm. All right, y'all. Ooh, I can't wait for the tomb. I can't wait. I can't wait. And we're gonna go over 444, you guys, tomorrow. Now, you guys know, listen, remember, remember, I have a whole kit experience, okay? If you guys look in the description, you will see the link to the kit that goes right along with every day, where you get notes before everybody else see what's coming out. You get the notes. You also get the what do you get? Look, you get the notes, you get journal prompts, you get something to do each day of this experience, or day 1, day 2, day 3, You get notes, what you get a music playlist that goes right along with each day, day 1, 2, and 3. So it's really fun. And then also the bonus for that kit when you purchase the kit is a VIP dance experience. We're gonna have that on Sunday at 4 p.m. CST time before I go live, and we're just gonna dance or listen to music and just answer questions, Q&As. Okay, we're gonna be doing that too. So you guys, if you enjoyed this experience today, if you enjoy anything or you learned something from this, y'all show some love in the chat. Let me know because this was really cool. This was really really cool. This was cool. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this because I could just talk about this for not forever, but for a long time because I feel like it's something we all can really relate to. And now when we become more consciously aware of how we do things, you know what I'm saying, or what's going on in our life, we won't have so many other questions that might come up. We won't be stressing about the process so much. We won't be worrying. We won't be overthinking. We won't feel overwhelmed all the time once we know what's going on. And then we realize that, then we can get happy. Then we can get excited. Then we can say, all right, listen, I don't have to respond the same ways I responded years ago or the same ways that everybody is teaching that I should be responding when I go through this, because now I see what it is. And I see that I'm not even alone. And I see that I'm receiving the help. And I see that everything is working for my good. It's working for me, not to me. It's happening for me, not to me. You get what I'm saying? Indeed, this is very cool, very on time. You are so, 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 so welcome. So, you guys, I love y'all. Remember, there's links down below if you guys want to purchase the book or anything like that. Any of my offerings are down there. If you guys want to donate, it's all down there. I appreciate everything, you guys, and I love y'all so much. So, thank y'all so, so much for being here. And I can't wait to join you for part 2, day 2 tomorrow, the tomb. Invite somebody, you guys. Let them know. Let them know that it's time to rise. It's time for the ascension. All right. I love y'all. Peace, y'all. I can't play the music I want to play, y'all know, but we gonna vibe to this. This is one of my songs, guys. Actually, this is the song that goes with the book. Ain't that crazy? I didn't even know that. Y'all, just wait till it come out. Just wait. We gonna have some fun. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, you guys, I love y'all. Remember, you are magic. So today, be magic. No, I said be magic. Remember, you are magic. So today, be magical, spread love, and share your freaking story because you deserve to be heard. And someone out there is waiting to hear from you. I love y'all. Peace. Hey, hey, hey. She said, what? Bye, y'all.